Hi, this is Chuck Lalazzi. Welcome to Chuck's Culture Channel. And my guest today is singer, semi-retired MD, and teacher Ken Haller. This Halloween, Ken Haller turned 71, and he's celebrating by presenting his 8th full cabaret show, 70 plus 1, at the Blue Strawberry Showroom and Lounge here in St. Louis. For more information, bluestrawberrystl.com. Joining him on stage are music director Carol Schmidt and a combo of Gateway City musicians as Ken looks back on the music that made him who he is today. Let's talk about that. Okay, so Ken Haller, another year, another birthday show at the Blue Strawberry.
Right. I'm very excited about it. I turned 71 this year. I know that to some people that would make me a whippersnapper, but um it's been an eventful year. Last year, just before I turned 70, I was diagnosed with prostate cancer and I had prostate surgery and went through a lot of stuff, and I did a brand new show that year. And this year is I've taken that show and I've reworked it and added some songs and dropped some songs and switched some stories around. And it's been a very creative process. And this, unlike previous shows that I've done, if you've seen them, they generally are almost like a book musical where a song leads into a story that leads into a song. This is more of the songs that made me who I am today. So these are songs that go back to the 1950s and through the 1980s and in a wide variety of genres that all mean something to me. But unlike past shows, I'll probably be referring to some of the composers or artists who did them because they had a particular effect on me at that point in my life. And I'm very proud of it. It's going to be a really, really fun show.
So this is in many ways one of the most personal cabarets you've done.
In many ways, yeah. I mean, I like to think of my cabarets as generally pretty personal, but this one really gets down to why this song is part of my soul. You know, why the song made a difference and where I was in my life at that time, and what it means to me uh to have experienced that song and to be singing that song. And so because of that, because it's such a wide variety of genres that I will be working with, I generally just work with a pianist, a very talented pianist, but I also have a bass player and I have percussion and I have guitar and background vocals, and it's going to be a really, really big shoe, as Ed Sullivan used to say. So it's even so, it's only 75 minutes. So if you have to go to the bathroom, you should be okay.
Let's talk about some of those musicians because, of course, your music director, Carol Schmidt, is someone both of us know well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this show starting last year. This is the first time I've worked with Carol as an actual music director. I've worked with her. I mean, I've worked with her in open mics and things like, that you and she put together, and I've done some things with her. But I've never had her as a music director, and it is one of those things that after I started working with her, I was thinking, why haven't we worked together before doing this? Because she is so creative and so thoughtful and has really great suggestions, and I just really, really have enjoyed working with her. And in addition to that, Rick Weiss, who is almost legendary in the St. Louis music community, is on bass, and Michelle Isom, who is also someone who's extremely well known, and I just love her. She's doing background vocals and percussion. And there's a guy named Tom Byrne who I've never worked with, but Carol has worked with him, and he's a young musician, at least compared to the rest of us. And so he's going to be joining us on guitar. And so it's been really wonderful to work with these very, very talented musicians, and to because that's the other thing is providing a showcase for them to show their talents also.
Now, you mentioned earlier that you had prostate surgery, and I don't know how many people know this outside of St. Louis, but you are and have been for decades a doctor, a real
Right.
doctor.
Right.
Yeah. I think you're semi-retired right now.
I'm retired from clinical practice. I retired last October 31st, which was my 70th birthday. I retired from seeing patients, but I'm still teaching, and I'm still teaching my course at St. Louis University School of Medicine called Acting Like a Doctor, which is about it's an elective course for first year medical students. It's 6 3-hour sessions about using improvisational theater to be a more mindful, empathetic physician. So it's a really great melding of science and art and personhood and communications and medical knowledge. So we're halfway through the course for this semester, and it's so exciting to see these young people who are interested in this stuff. And and if I have any wisdom to pass on, I'm thrilled to be passing that on to them.
Well, plus you're giving them some training and some information you don't normally get in medical school.
Right, right, right. This is the sort of thing that I will say that St. Louis University, as a Jesuit medical school, is, has I think, perhaps a more holistic view of health and personhood and healing than other schools do. But I'm very proud to be there, and it's the kind of thing that there are a few other schools that have done this. But I've written a paper that I've put up for publication about this. I did a survey of students over the past 15 years who've done this course about how it's affected their practice, and the feedback I've gotten has been really positive. And it's interesting that not that many medical schools do things like this. And I think it would be really helpful to do it, because I think that, as I say, my personal mission is to create a world of healing. Sometimes I do that with a stethoscope, sometimes with a story and a song.
I got to ask you, this is off the topic, but I mean, as a physician yourself, when you find that you have to have some sort of procedure, is it easier or harder on you?
Wow, that's a very good question. It's one of those questions I don't know if I can answer. I will say that for myself, I still get as scared as any civilian would when you get a blood test done. And I mean, um, now that I'm a prostate cancer survivor, every 3 months I've gotten my PSA done. I just had it done again last week. And I was kind of on pins and needles for about a day until I got it back saying it's still undetectable. But yeah, sometimes I know more than I'd like to know. On the other hand, knowing more than other people does allow me to sometimes put things in perspective. So it is a little of this, a little of that, and but I have to say that even given my past and my profession, I still don't enjoy going to the doctor.
In a way, that's kind of refreshing to hear.
Yeah.
So, of course, we talked about the show you've got coming up at the Blue Strawberry, and your dates are, give me the dates again.
It will be my birthday, Friday, October 31st at 7:30 p.m. So if you want to get away from all of those little ghosts and goblins who are uh, trying to panhandle you for candy at your front door, this would be a perfect excuse. Come on down to the Blue Strawberry. But I'm also doing it on Sunday, November 2nd at 5 p.m. because I know my demographic. And just like other people my age, I kind of like being home by 7 o'clock. So you have a choice. And you can go to bluestrawberrystl.com and scroll down to October 31st and November 2nd. Tickets are on sale now.
Yes, there you go. bluestrawberrystl.com. Information about Ken Haller's show and also about all the other shows at the Blue Strawberry. And there are a lot of them.
Yeah, we have a lot of really great shows coming up, and I hope you come and see my show, but I will probably be there for a lot of the other shows too, because we have some great shows coming up. So while you're scrolling down to mine, please stop at a few others and get tickets for them too. It's a great place.
Ken Haller, thanks for taking a few minutes to talk to us here about the show. It's 70+1. Did I cite that correctly?
Yep, it is 70+1. Here's our logo. We totally ripped off the 7-Up logo, so the vintage 7-Up soda logo.
Okay. Ken, thanks so much for taking a few minutes to talk with us here. I think it's going to be a great show. Sherry and I will, of course, be there on
Thank you.
Monday the 2nd.
Thank you, Chuck, for taking the time. I always appreciate talking to you, and I look forward to seeing you on November 2nd.
Yes. And everybody out there, check out the show. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.